If you woke up tomorrow and found out you were the last person on Earth, what would you do first? Go to all the pharmacies and load up on my medications and needles. Probably get a massive U-Haul truck and load the thing with non-perishable food and water and any weapons, clothing, first aid, batteries, etc. Then head as far south as possible for good weather. Then just spend my time learning everything I can until the end of times and maybe make a monument so possible alien visitors would know what happened. Stock up on your meds is the most thoughtful answer here. Without omeprazole and whatever my gout, BP, and statin meds are, unlimited freedom isn't going to be fun for long. Some things do survive for millennia. But you would want to balance the time commitment to learning stone carving and finding correct types of stone with finding food and shelter. And masturbating too. Time to go exploring. A grand life of adventure awaits. Just imagine, you'd never have to use the same crapper twice again. I would go house to house just to critique everyone's decor, as well as raid their cupboards. Cry for a while, I guess. Then I would want to figure out how to grow and roast my own coffee beans. Honestly, I'd be really excited, especially if we ignore the part where I presumably lost people I loved. I'd break into everyone's homes, steal a mansion, find out where all the hospitals and endo clinics are, and swipe all the insulin I can. Wake up with my dog each morning and live life to the best that I could, making every day an adventure survival story. Adopt more dogs. Do all the things I've never had time to do because of employment. Get lonely at some point and hope I have enough dogs to make me still feel whole, panic a little, but mostly live. Sourcing a few dogs is the key to surviving this, for sure.
Lol. I'd go find some serious painkillers at a pharmacy to join the rest of humanity. I'm not sticking around in whatever apocalyptic scenario that killed all people. I'd get all the good stuff as well. Then once I've got a backpack full of drugs, I'd explore. A small 4x4 vehicle with a dirt bike could get me just about anywhere. Oh, and a rifle. If I'm the only human, then I'm no longer top of the food chain. Only a matter of time before wildlife becomes overabundant. Be inconsolably depressed for a real long time. Then after going through that, probably start burning down random buildings. Why not? No one could stop me. You might be a pyromaniac. Utilize the internet while it is available to procure directions to places I can get solar panels and batteries, then an electric car, then find a farmstead somewhere and start farming. You'd have a very limited time in which to make use of gasoline, and the power grid and internet would fail relatively quickly as well. So it'd be about stockpiling food, getting ways to produce food, and then finding ways to hoard entertainment that doesn't require the net. TVs, DVD players, older consoles, and games that don't need a net connection to download games, etc. And gathering as many books as physically possible while protecting and maintaining the closest library. I'd grab my cat, fill my car with gas, stop at a few animal shelters and grab some cats and dogs. I'd free the animals I could not keep. I'd raid pharmacies, stock up on booze, and grab as much from dispensaries as I could. I'd then head towards Niagara Falls. I'd move into the Red Coach Inn. I would hopefully learn how to gather hydroelectricity from the rapids, living peacefully by the falls. As much as I dislike AI, I would probably use it so it felt like I was talking to someone. I eventually would probably go crazy from lack of socialization and go swimming in the Niagara River. Update. The Niagara Falls Library is only 1.6 miles from the Red Coach Inn. I just checked. Perfect. Cry. A lot. For a long time. And often. Then laugh in wonder and delight at the absolute freedom. I'd probably lose my mind, but with mine being the only human mind on Earth, I would also be the most sane. When nobody wakes you up in the morning, and when nobody waits for you at night, and when you can do whatever you want, what do you call it, freedom or loneliness? Bukowski. Probably pillage all the nearby stores for amenities and food while it's still good. Party for the first week or two like it's 1999. Sleep in every day and fuck up my sleep schedule. After the electricity goes and the bulk of supermarket refrigerated foods go bad, things would get sadder, but I reckon I can find a generator in a Wally world and live the rest of my days siphoning gasoline out of abandoned cars for my own refrigeration and electric light. I reckon I could live out my whole life like that. Populated areas have such a large concentration of consumer commodities all in one place. Lots of foods are shelf-stable for years on end. It wouldn't be a pleasant diet, but Spam and psyllium husk could do the job. I'd probably die in my 50s from all the preserved, shelf-stable foods I ate all my life, or if the good cans start running out or bloating. Is a life like that worth living? Yes, absolutely. More so than life every day. The only responsibility I will be beholden to is my immediate material well-being. A world for the taking, or ignoring in bed, and nothing to stop me. No laws, no sales, no rent or eviction. Find the biggest camper, load up my and as many other animals to move to the woods. I'll have cats planting carrots in no time. Honestly, this might sound a bit pathetic. As a recovered drug addict, I'd find the nearest stash of drugs and do them all as my final act. I'm years and years into sobriety, so I feel confident saying I'll never relapse because I deeply know how much better life is without drugs. But other addicts will know what I mean when I say there's always a small, quiet part of me that wishes I could just have a little once in a while. That being said, I have no desire to be the last person alive on Earth or to play some real-life game of post-apocalyptic survival. So if I found myself in that position tomorrow, I'd let the quiet voice win for once. Yep, I would totally explore. Go into other people's buildings, homes, drive cars you wouldn't normally try, shoot some guns and bazookas, catch up on my growing list of shows and movies. Also, how would you know you are the only one left? How did everyone go? Are they dead in their homes or just disappeared? I would go to my neighbor's place and break in the door, grab his keys, and take his G-Wagon for a drive. Then I would probably drive to North Park and put on all the pretty things I want, blaring music, and make myself a fashion show. I think it would be a lot like Zombieland. Minus the zombies, I would go and break into a mansion and live there. I would run around and so much that I don't ever do. Maybe go crazy on a golf course like him in the Jackass movies. Try to play golf. It would get boring after a while, I'm sure, but I would just go and be wild. I can't really survive without other people, so I would finish whatever books were on my TBR pile and then end my life. I can't believe I had to scroll so far to find someone who recognizes that they would really survive without other humans. Or even if they did, it would be a torturous existence. Maybe his is why there is a loneliness epidemic. So many people don't actually appreciate that we are a social species that needs the company of other humans. Break into a different place and move there, because my apartment will not do well in a Michigan February without a soon-to-fail electrical grid. Download any survival-related information I can from the internet before it fails. Try and free as many trapped pets as possible so they don't starve to death trapped in homes without people. Even if they die in the snow, it's faster than starvation. If a few seem good for protection and hunting assistance, I'll bring them to my new home. Get as much hunting, fishing, and farming supplies and shelf-stable food as possible, as well as water purification stuff. Get as much in the way of antibiotics and other useful supplies from pharmacies. Find information, possibly on the last big online binge, on where various petroleum pipelines and chemical manufacturers are, and try to settle somewhere upstream and upwind from them. Thanks for watching. In the comments, write what you would do if you were the last person on Earth. And also don't forget to watch our other videos. Bye, everyone.